All right, so for those who have been around the channel for a while, you may remember this, and you may remember Sunday morning coffee and games. For those that are new, welcome. This is something we used to do a lot, and I want to bring it back slightly, but we're going to change the way it's done. You see, one of the biggest requests I get on this channel is they want to watch the gameplay videos, right? They want to watch Marvel Champions being played, but when I do the cuts from the live stream, it's a little too fast paced, or we're just kind of going with the flow, or there's too much chatting with chat and whatnot. And maybe people don't know what their cards are, they don't know what the deck is, whatever it may be. So I wanted to make a standalone video that was just for that part of the community that wants to see the gameplay a little bit slower, right? Wants to see what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, all that fun stuff. So that's the goal of this video, is to break this down, go a little bit slower with everything, and really focus on the gameplay. And I figured the best hero to start this series with, and again, I don't know if it's going to be weekly or every other week or what, but the absolute best hero to start this series with is, of course, the GOAT. All right, here is the deck. Here's the deck all laid out. Kind of a mess, but it's all laid out, and we're going to go through it just a little bit to explain what I'm trying to do in this scenario. We are going to be playing Valkyrie. I am going against Crossbones today, and a lot of this deck you can adjust however you see fit, depending on the villain you're playing. Very rarely does one deck fit all villains, but I think this one will do all right against Crossbones. We'll see for sure. So there's a few things I'm focusing on with this deck. Is the big one is I want to have strength resources for dropkick, which we'll explain in a second. But that's one of the reasons why you'll see certain cards the way that they are. So anyway, let's zoom down onto this table, and we'll talk about the allies first. Lockjaw is always a great ally for solo because you can play it from your discard pile. It is expensive, so you only do it if you have a lot of resources in hand, but it also helps us thwart a bit off the table as well. Then we have Wolverine, who I think is one of the best aggression allies out there because of his piercing. We shouldn't run into too many toughs, if any toughs. I don't remember 100% if Crossbones has tough. I feel like he doesn't, but he's still really strong to have. Same with Marvel Boy. You could switch out Marvel Boy if you wanted someone that does more confusion based or something like that, Psylocke or whatever. Absolutely can do that, but I think we'll be fine with what we have. Now we have a lot of free events, and this might throw people off of why do we have Power of Aggression. But I still think it's important to put these events in. So after your hero attacks and defeats an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. This is going to help us with threat removal, most likely, or hopefully at least. So I think it'll be hopefully a big card to have. If there's no minions in this deck, you probably wouldn't run that card, right? You run something else instead. Skill Strike is great because when your hero makes a basic attack, it's +2 for that attack. We should be swinging for a lot, so when we can swing more is even better. When your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust a weapon you control. Or exhaust a weapon upgrade on your hero. Your hero gets +3 for that attack. We should have 2 different weapons between, what is it? Our spear. Valkyrie's spear is a weapon, and our sword, Dragon Fang, is also a weapon. So we have 2 different weapons we could exhaust there. So hopefully be swinging for a lot. We also have Dropkick, which I think is a massive card. Works really well. Again, this is why I'm stressing so hard on the strength resources, because you deal 4 damage to an enemy. I don't really care about that as much, but stunning the enemy and drawing a card can be huge for Valkyrie. Godlike Stamina is pretty much an auto include for her. You heal 2 damage from her. She's going to be taking a lot of hits to the face, but she has 12 life, so you might as well. Heal 2 damage from your identity, and you may discard a status card from your identity. If we're stunned or confused, this will help us a lot. We have also a lot of doubles, and we have Power of Aggression. Power of Aggression is a bit of overkill. I mean, really, it's there for trying to get in combat training, martial prowess, Marvel Boy, and Wolverine, right? And then Dropkick. Do I really need that much like resource cards? I don't know, but I like them. Martial prowess lets us use for a strength resource for an attack event. Combat training is going to add +1 to our attack. It's going to make us really strong. Queen Carrier, great resource card. We are an Avenger, so we can play it. You just exhaust this card to generate a wild resource. Endurance to get a little bit more life, which is always really strong. And Enhanced Physique is a card that I still don't mind. It has 3 uses, and you can exhaust to remove 1 physical counter here to generate a fist resource, strength resource. I still think that's a pretty good option to have just in case, because we're going to want Death Glow attached and reattached as many times as possible if that's what we need. So it'll be nice to be able to use resources on the table, such as Enhanced Physique or Queen Carrier, to put that card out there, right? I know a lot of people give a hard time to Death Glow. It's an effective cost of 1 instead of 2 because it's not played from your hand, which makes it a little bit cheaper than a lot of cards. So I think that's pretty useful and pretty strong to note. And again, I think a lot of people, when they play Deathglow, they just kind of play it whenever they want, and I think that's a mistake on Valkyrie. I think the way you should play it is that you should play Deathglow when you're ready to either have that big block with Shield Maiden, right? When the enemy attacks with Deathglow attached, declare Valkyrie the defender without exhaustion. She gets +2 for that attack. She normally has 1 defense. That's 3 defense. On Crossbones, that's going to save you a lot of life, and you don't have to exhaust to defend. So unless you're doing something like a Shield Maiden, or you're going just hard with Dragon Fang, right, which gives you +1 attack, +2 if Deathglow is on it. We're going to be swinging for 4, maybe 5 with combat training. Swinging 5 is absolutely insane. It should kill most of the minions that we have to deal with just from exhausting, and then we get to ready up and play the card again, right? So minions should not be an issue in this. Flight of the Valkyrie is our threat removal card. We'll see how much we get to play it. It's always one of those weird things where I feel like you don't get to play it as much as you would like to. And it's a rough card to use, but that's all right. Then we have Chooser of the Slain, which we're going to search for minions, and we're going to put out minions. The minions in this deck are not very strong, so we're going to lean into that as much as possible. We also have Annabelle Riggs, who is pretty pointless, but it will give us 1 threat removal and a cheap block, which if we need it, we need it. Valhalla is great because every time you defeat with Deathglow for that turn, exhaust this to draw a card and heal 1 damage from Valkyrie. Anytime you can heal on your hero side is great. I don't want to flip down with Valkyrie. That's not what I want to do at all. I mentioned the spear. It adds the defense. Yeah. We'll see if we play it. It's not a big thing. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. Aragorn, her horse gives her aerial. We're not really leaning into that, but it does give her 4 hit points, which can be really strong. Visit Valhalla, I'll be honest, we'll probably never use because it's an alter ego action, so there's no real reason for me to use it. Shield Maiden, did we talk about that? We talked about that already. And then obviously our big attack card is Have at the deal 7 damage. Then we can also get the overkill damage if we're attacking a minion with it, right? Which is really strong because it's an easy way that if Crossbones have retaliate or something like that, we wouldn't have to worry about that. So let us quickly talk about the strategy with Crossbones. We are going to play him standard. I'm not going to go through decks. I think I already shuffled this up anyway. Yeah, I did. There's a lot of minions in his deck, generally speaking, looking through it. So we're leaning into that minions or the minions out there. He's only swinging for 1/1, which isn't that big of a deal. We are not going to worry about toughs because he is going to pierce through them if he has any weapons. We don't really have to worry about that too much because I don't think we really have that many tough builds on ourselves. But the big thing is to get these minions out there, increase your card draw from it, and just slay them over and over and over. And it's going to allow us to build out a bit more, I think, and allow us to just do more by taking out these minions and get more card draw. Card draw is very, very strong in this game, so that's a general idea. So anyway, I'm going to finish setup, and then we'll come back to this, and we'll start playing the game. All right, we're just shuffling up now, so might as well do it on camera so that you all see what's going on. I decided to use the dials for this, so 12 hit points on Crossbones Standard. We have 12 hit points as well. So yeah, so one of the things we have to do, and I have to shuffle this in front of you so that you can see the top weapon deck come in. One of the things I like to do with Valkyrie that a lot of people don't like to do, and they think it's inefficient, and I really don't think it is to thwart and keep the scheme down in the beginning, especially when you're building out. I don't need to do massive attacks. Like, I don't need to do attacks to Crossbones at all. And if I'm doing attacks to like minions, I'm going to be attacking the killing, and it's going to ready me up. So I still fully believe in the idea that you should be thwarting the main scheme. Is it inefficient to do it with 1? Absolutely. But it's the best way, I think, to play her solo is to do that. So I know a lot of people disagree with me on that. That's just the way I play it. So I think it makes the most sense. Anyway, he is going to get an experimental weapon. We're going to have to see what it is and just, kind of deal with that. They can be rough, but you do want to get rid of them pretty fast because him attacking for 1 is like nothing, right? We really don't have to worry about that. We want to build out a little bit so that we get our extra attack, we get our resource generators, at least Queen Carrier. Enhanced Physique, we can wait on. We can just use it kind of early on as a builder or whatever. And I would like to get the horse out and all that stuff. We're going to spend some time building. And because of that, again, like I said, we want to keep this main scheme there as long as possible. Now, worst comes to worst, if it comes to the next stage, 2A, right, which doesn't have anything bad when it comes in, except for the another experimental weapon, but it's a 6 on that, and then there is a third step as well. We want to keep it at the very least on the 6 for as long as possible, right? That is for sure. So anyway, that's the rough game plan. We'll see how well we can do it. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, there's not a lot of thwarting in this deck, so it should be pretty interesting. But anyway, let's see what our top card of our experimental weapons is. Oops, almost grabbed two. So we are starting with the laser rifle. So when attached villain attacks, the attacks gain range. If we had retaliate, this would affect us a lot more, but we don't have retaliate. We're not leaning into retaliate, so it doesn't really matter, but it does give him +1 attack. So as a hero action, we have to spend energy and a fist resource to discard this card. Now, fist resources, we have a lot of. That is for sure. The energy resource is going to be a little bit tougher to get rid of. So he's swinging for 2, but we have a lot of life. So I'm not super worried about it. But if we can get rid of that card, we're going to do it, right? So just glancing at the amount of resources, I think we have 7 or 8 energy resources. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and let's see what we're starting with here. Let us zoom in on this so you can see my hand. So Marble Boy. All right, so first off, really quick, what I'm looking for is an energy resource, and we have that with Have At Thee. Would it be nice to use this as an attack? Yeah, sure. But an energy resource is worth a lot to me right now, so I want to keep that to get rid of that laser rifle. Now, past that, Godlike Stamina is completely useless to us right now. I'm sorry, this is not going to focus on the zoom in. Because we can't really heal. So that's useless to us. So we'll discard that. We're going to keep that. Mean Swing, we don't really have a weapon out, so it doesn't really do much for us. So we'll get rid of that. Aragorn, I like a lot. Skilled Strike, we're not going to be attacking, so I don't have to worry about that. Marvel Boy, I don't hate, but I don't think we need yet. So I think I'm going to get rid of that too, right? We really only have a 2-cost card to worry about because this we're going to use as a resource. So let's throw away these 4 cards. Let's draw 4 more. So we drew 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. Not the hand I want, but this will do. The reason being is because now, oops, sorry, push the wrong button. The reason being is because, let me take off my shoes. Maybe I'll push the button easier. The big thing we can do is now we can do Chooser of the Slain. Okay, so what we're really going to do first is I want to get this horse out, right? For sure. So we're going to use our double to play Aragorn. Again, 4 extra life, bringing us up to 16 is going to be massive. I think that's pretty important to do, so I want to do that first. Now, we are going to flip up to Valkyrie. We are no longer Broomhilda, and I want to get rid of this laser rifle for sure. Now, before we do it, I want to see all of our card options. So let us play Chooser of the Slain. Just so you remember, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play. Engage with you, draw 2 cards. So we're going to search for a minion that I can kill pretty easily. Now, what's interesting is because this is a put into play card, right? It says discard a pile minion and put it into play. It's not a reveal card. So the reason that this is important for cards like Hydra Bomber, where it says choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat, 1 revealed. We're not revealing it. We're just playing it, which is massive. It's a massive difference. So we're going to play Hydra Bomber. We are putting him into play. We are not revealing him. And then we will shuffle this up because we can easily take out Hydra Bomber. He only has 2 life. I don't have to worry about much. And basically it's easy card draw at this point. So, oops. Put that there. Put Hydra Bomber right there. We did not draw 2 cards yet, so we might as well do that. 1. Okay, I don't want all my double. I don't want that either. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to spend this energy resource and this fist resource, right? I want to do that to get rid of this card. We're going to get rid of a Have At Thee and a Godlike Stamina in order to do so. Now, what stinks is, well, we'll do that. We'll get rid of this. I believe experimental weapons actually goes back in the actual, or not in there, in the actual discard, not a separate discard, if I remember correctly. I have to double check that in 1 second, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. Now, what stinks with the whole Have At Thee thing is that we can't, this is like a really awkward place because we don't have Death Glow ability. We don't have a resource generator yet for Death Glow. I'm actually thinking we throw away Have At Thee to attach Deathglow and we hold our doubles, right? I know a lot of people don't like holding cards, and I get why it's less efficient, but we are talking about 2 doubles here that if we get something that is expensive, I think it can help us out a lot. All right, so I had to double check the rules over in the Rise of Red Skull rulebook, and yes, this does go into the encounter discard pile, right? So after a card from the experimental weapons deck enters play, it is considered to be part of the encounter deck. When that card is discarded, it is placed in the encounter deck discard pile. I just wanted to double check that to make sure we had that rule right. So I think I'm gonna actually throw away Have at Thee to attach Deathglow onto the Hydra Bomber. We will do 2 damage then, knock out the Hydra Bomber, which does ready us up, right? So when attached enemy is defeated, set this card aside out of play. If Valkyrie defeated that enemy, ready her up. We are going to ready her up. And then we're just going to swing for 2, the old-fashioned way, onto Crossbones. He goes from 12 life down to 10. And then I think we're just going to ready up, and we're going to draw our 5 cards. So we have our 2 doubles. 3rd is Enhanced Physique. 4th is Wolverine. This is why we kept the doubles. And 5 is Endurance. This is a very, very good hand for us. Wolverine is going to be great. I think in this situation, 2, 3, and I was trying to figure out if we could play Endurance too, but it's gonna be great in this situation to be able to play this. We can play Endurance if we want to as well, or maybe we use Deathglow. We'll see. But I'm very happy with that hand. So 1 goes on to here, first step of the phase. Now, Crossbones is going to attack. When he has a weapon, gains piercing. He doesn't have a weapon, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, he's attacking for 1 right now against Valkyrie. We're just going to take the hit. I'm not too worried about 1 damage as of right now. So it's going to be 4 damage, which is a little rough. So we go down to 12. This is our normal amount of health, which is fine. So we're down to 12 health, and that is okay. So now our bad card is full auto. He is hero side. Discard X cards on the top of the encounter deck where X is Crossbones attack. Take 1 indirect damage for each boost icon discarded this way. So let's just read that one more time. Discard X card on the top of the deck where is his attack. We only have to discard 1 card, and there's 1 boost icon on there. So we just take the 1 indirect damage. So we are down to 11 life. Now for indirect damage, for those that don't know, if I had allies out here, I could put them on allies up to their full life. You can knock out an ally with indirect damage. You just can't go over that ally's life. And that's a common question that gets asked a lot. So let's throw away our 2 doubles to play Wolverine. Very excited to have Wolverine on the table. And then I'm going to throw away Enhanced Physique to play Endurance. Gives us more life, so it brings us up to 14. And we have a total possibility of 16, 18 life, right? So we have 4 we can work with if we get Godlike Stamina. We might as well attack with Wolverine because why not? That's what he's best at. So he's going to do 3 damage, bring Crossbones down to 7 life. And then we are going to thwart the 1. As I said, I want to keep this as low as possible for as long as possible, especially when I'm building out. So we're going to ready up, and then we'll draw 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. And by 4, I mean 5 cards. All right, there's our Godlike Stamina. We're going to use this card to heal up. Most likely, we have 2 double reds, which are completely useless to us, but oh well, that's just how it works sometimes. So I like the ability to heal. Chase him down, unless he draws an ally, isn't really going to help us, but we do get a red double to play Dragon Fang, which is really nice because now we're going to be swinging at Crossbones for 4 damage when Deathglow is attached. And we're getting to the point where with Dragon Fang, with Aragorn, I would like the card draw heal card to come in as well. But we can just start getting pretty aggressive with this at this point. This is all Valkyrie really needs to build out at this point. So we're going to go 1 here. Crossbones is going to attack. I am, again, going to take this hit. I do not care, especially since I'm going to be healing soon. So I'm not going to exhaust. It's going to be 1 and then 2, 3. So I'm going to take 3 damage. Brings me down to 11 life. Now we're going to get our bad card, which states... Crossbones armor. Okay. Crossbones armor. When Crossbones would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. And if there is 5, you discard this. So this is going to slow down our plan just a little bit, but only a little bit. So that is fine. We do want to get rid of that because I don't like him having extra attack, and we can finish kind of building out. Now Wolverine is going to heal up, so we might as well let him do his thing. So that is fine. The first thing I want to do is play Godlike Stamina so I can heal 2 up. So I go from 11 to 13 health. Now, chase him down, we're not going to be able to really use, so that's fine. We're going to throw away the Power of Aggression to play Dragon Fang. This is now going to give us a +1 attack, so we can add that on right there. Okay. So let's think about this now. So we can do 6 damage to knock out the armor right away. It's no extra damage is going to be there because we have to count each time we place damage there. So if we did 6 or 7 or 8, it doesn't really make a difference to us. It's all going to end the same. So I think we actually attack with Wolverine to do 3 damage, right? So that's going to do 3 onto there. And then we're going to swing for another 3. It does 6 damage total. And then we get to remove Crossbones' armor, right? So we don't have to worry about that. Now, I am going to call it good there. I'm going to throw away Chase Them Down. I'm going to hold on to the Power of Aggression. Let me explain why. We are about halfway through our deck at this point, and we're allowed to look through our discard pile. And what I have noticed is that we have not done a drop kick yet, right? We have not had a drop kick yet. We've lost all of our doubles. I think we've lost all of our big attacks with have at these. We have 1 have at thee left. But I am betting, maybe foolishly, that we will get a drop kick. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but I don't mind using that. So let's ready up, and we got to save Wolverine for a round 2, but that's all right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, the bet didn't pay off, but that's quite all right. We got 2 in there somewhere, and we're running lower on cards. So we will be able to get Annabelle in. Flight the Valkyrie, maybe we get in. We'll see. Chase them down. Maybe we do that instead of Flight the Valkyrie. We'll have to see. All right, 1 goes on this. This is at 2 out of 3, so we have to keep an eye on that. Crossbones is going to attack. Again, I will take this hit because I do not care. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 damage, which brings us down to 10 life. This is the great part of Valkyrie, is that she could be very tanky with these things. It's not going to affect her too much. Weapon Master. The villain attacks you. If they have a weapon attachment, this card gains Surge. So they are going to attack us, unfortunately. We'll just take this hit once again. So it's going to be 1 plus nothing. So we just take our 1 damage. We're down to 9 life. I don't like being that low, but that's all right. All right, so Wolverine's going to heal up, and then he's at... Oops, not that one. That was a little too much heal. He's going to have 2 damage, so we don't want to use Wolverine this round because it's going to take a little too much out of him. But that's all right. So let us throw away 2 cards to play Annabelle. I know it seems silly, but Annabelle is going to probably be our blocker for a round, which I think will be good. What's he got? 7 life left. All right, so what we're going to do is use Annabelle to thwart 1 off of here, right? We're going to keep that down. I think we're going to swing for 3. And the way I like to play a lot is try to line up my pushes, right? So I want to get him down to like no life. And then I can do massive amounts of damage the next turn. The way I'm looking at this right now is if I attach Deathglow now to him, right? Use chase him down to attach Deathglow. We can use Shield Maiden as a way to get +2 defense without exhausting, and it saves Annabelle as a block for another round. Allows Wolverine to heal 1, and allows us now to deal 4 damage, which brings us down to 3. If we bring it down to 3, we could have it so that Wolverine can push him to the next stage, and maybe we get some big attacks and push forward. Now, the only thing I don't like about this plan is that we'd be using a resource for Shield Maiden, and again, our have at these, we only have 1 left. And next stage comes in with 14 life, so I feel like we need a little bit more than that. But I think that's what we're going to do with things. I think we're okay with that right now. So chase him down. We're going to put Deathglow onto Crossbones, and then we're going to deal 2, 3, and then we get an extra 1, 4 for having Deathglow attached. So that brings him down to 3 life. We'll hold on to Shield Maiden because I'm going to use it as a blocker this turn. So we're going to ready up. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. We have a lot. We have some drop kick down there, which is going to be really good for us at the very end because now it allows us to have kind of an extra turn, really, if we can stun him. So that is what we're going to do. I really don't like any of these cards per se, but that's all right. So we are probably going to Shield Maiden him, so we'll leave that face up. All right, so this goes into 2. So when the enemy with Deathglow attacks, declare Valkyrie the defender without exhaustion gets +2 defense for that attack. So we're going to throw away Valhalla to play this. So now we are defending, but we're not exhausted. We're defending for 3. So he's attacking for 1, 2, does no damage. We don't have to exhaust or anything. So it's really cool. So that should be unexhausted. All right, bad card is Hydra regular. So it does come in within sight 1, which does stink because that is going to put 1 on this main scheme, which does pop this and brings this to the Infinity Stone. Now, when revealed, reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. Okay, after the attached villain attacks and damages you, discard 1 card from your hand. All right, that stinks. All right, so 1 starts off on this. And I think we're good there. So now, here's the thing. He has to attack and damage you, right? And a lot of people get confused with you. In this case, you is me. So he has to actually damage me. Wolverine gets the heal 1 as well before I forget. I'm okay with this, I think. So I think what we do is we're going to dump both of our cards to play Martial Prowess. I was originally going to use Wolverine to push through this, but I think I'm actually going to use Valkyrie because I will be defeating an enemy and I will get Death Glow back and I will get to ready up. And then I can swing again and take out the Hydra regular and maybe we let Wolverine heal for 1 more round. The reason being is because Crossbones is going to attack. We're going to have Annabelle take that hit. I am hoping at this point, because we play Martial Prowess, which states exhaust Martial Prowess, generate a strength resource for an attack event. We threw away your other 2 cards for that. I'm hoping that we do get the dropkick at some point. We can stun him and we can last a little bit longer, right? We don't have that many cards left. I feel like the dropkick's got to be coming. That's what I'm really hoping for. If that's the case, Wolverine healing up and all that stuff, like we're going to be able to make the push so easy for 14. It's going to be crazy. So I am going to swing 4 damage to knock out Crossbones, right? That brings him down to 0. I get Death Glow back. Crossbones comes into the next stage, keeps his attachment, and I ready up in that case. All right. So now Crossbones comes in with 14 life, which is more than fine. 14. And it states search the encounter deck and discard pile for Crossbones Machine Gun and attach it to him. Let's look at Machine Gun. Nope, it's not in there. Okay, that's fine. Machine Gun. There we go. Okay, so Machine Gun, we're going to put 2 ammo counters on, and when Crossbone attacks, you remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons on that discarded card. Okay, easy enough. So we put that there. We get to put 2 onto there. Okay. Now, what's tricky with this is that with the Power Gauntlets, if we take the indirect damage, we do have to discard a card, right? Because he is attacking and he will be damaging. That does kind of throw a wrinkle into things, but I think that's all right. So we're going to do the final attack just to knock out Hydra regular because I don't want to deal with that as well. I think that's good. All right, let's ready up and let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, drop kick. There's our. No, we got both drop kicks. That's not what I wanted in Valhalla. Okay, all right, not what we wanted, but that's okay. That's okay. So we can do drop kick, be able to stun the enemy. Okay, so we'll figure this out. We do have to get rid of a card most likely, so I think we can get rid of 1 card. Still play drop kick somewhat efficiently. I think this is all right. I think we can figure this out. Crossbones is going to attack. Now, before he does, we have to do the force interrupt. The interrupt will happen beforehand because it says when Crossbones attacks you, right? We're interrupting that attack. So it's happening before the thing. Remove 1 ammo counter from this card and discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take 1 indirect damage equal to the number of boost icons. So, number of boost icons is none. This is a star icon, not a boost icon. So we don't have to throw away a card. So that's really nice. Crossbones is going to attack. Annabelle Riggs is going to take this hit. So it's going to be 2 plus nothing. Plus 1 more is 3 damage. Annabelle does not make it. Now, again, he gains piercing. We don't have to worry about that. No one has tough. After the villain attacks and damages you, he didn't damage me. He damaged Annabelle Riggs. Again, he was attacking me, but didn't damage me. So that's the important part of that. Discard 1 card from your hand, and then we did the Crossbones Machine Gun. A lot of people will ask that question. Well, it says that he's attacking you. Is he attacking Annabelle Riggs? No, he's still attacking me, right? Because I am still a target. Annabelle's getting out of the way, right? Don't think of his Crossbones as now targeting Annabelle Riggs. Still attacking me, but he didn't damage me. He damaged Annabelle Riggs, right? That's an important kind of note of how that works. Again, all the words kind of matter in that sentence. It can be a little confusing, but just know that, I guess. All right, then we get Hydra Patrol. When it states each player's or when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion puts into play. Shuffle the encounter deck. Now here's the thing. This is going to come in with a crisis icon. A lot of people at this point would say, okay, I need to focus in on this because I don't want these schemes to pop, right? I want to get through this and I want to take care of things. The way I play is much more aggressive than most people. And I look at this go, okay, I have a ticking time bomb now at this point. I'm hoping I don't get advanced. And I'm hoping that, okay, I have 4 rounds before this pops and the next card comes in with another 5 rounds. I have 11 rounds. I should be able to win in that amount of time. That's my goal at least. So Wolverine heals again for this round. So he's healed all the way up. The first thing I want to do is play a drop kick, right? So we're going to use Martial Prowess to generate a Fist resource for this. We're going to throw away a drop kick and throw away a Shield Maiden. So we're paying all 3 with only Strength resources, Fist resources. Sorry, I used them interchangeably. My bad. We're going to deal 4 damage to the enemy. So that brings him down to 10 life. And then since you pay for this card only using Strength resources, stun that enemy, which is the key thing we want to do, because if we stun him, he can't do anything else. And then we get to draw a card, which is Lockjaw. And then we throw this away. Okay. Let's throw away both these cards that play Valhalla. I don't know. Actually, no. We're not going to do that, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to throw away Lockjaw to play Deathglow. In my head now, I'm at the point where I know I can win next round, right? So we should be good. These 2 cards, I'm not even going to worry about. I don't even think we need them. So what we're going to do is use Wolverine to deal 3 damage. So 0 onto 7. And then we're going to swing for 4 damage, right? Because Death goes on there. So we get 2, 3, and an extra 1 for Death Glow being attached. Brings him down to 3 life. And then we're going to ready up. And we're in a very good situation right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to get an extra bad card, which kind of stinks, but that's all right. But we're in a very good situation right now. He is stunned. He has Death Glow attached. The only thing we have to worry about a little bit is advance. But the thing is now we can even use Wolverine as a blocker because we don't need his attack. We can do the damage, right? Us being stunned and losing Wolverine is the only thing that can really slow us down right now. Or if he gets a card that like absorbs a lot of damage. That is the other thing as well. But hopefully that's not the case. So we are getting, hey, look, our mean swings and our skilled strikes. Okay. So we have the combat training if we really want to do that to add more damage, which we could do. And then we'll do a skilled strike and a mean swing. And we could do massive amounts of damage. I mean, just disgusting amounts of damage. It kind of stinks it was on the bottom, but that's all right. So we're going to add 1 there. Crossbones is not going to be able to attack. He is stunned instead. So that replaces the attack activation. So it no longer happens. And then we're going to have to deal with these 2 bad cards. Again, one of them is from us decking out. The other one is the normal one that he gets. So flip this up, and what are we talking about? Villain scheming is going to be an issue. So this is only for attack. This activates. Okay, so he's scheming for 2, 3. Unfortunately, this does pop this scenario. So this goes away. And now we come in with the 3rd one. Nothing is on this side. On this side, it starts off with 1, goes up to a 5. Reveal the top card of the experimental weapons deck. So let's put 1 there. Top card states he is going to gain Retaliate. Now this would matter maybe a little, but we're not going to really care about it too much. So, and then our second one is full auto. Discard X cards on the top of the encounter deck, where X is Crossbones attack. Take indirect damage for each boost icon done this way. So his attack is currently 2, so we're going to take the 2, and the indirect damage is there's only 1 boost icon, right? The other one's a star, so we take 1 indirect damage, brings us down to 8. All right, that is fine because we will have the win now. So all we have to do is at this point, I would actually throw away both these cards to play combat training to add 1 attack, just so you can see what the game plan would be with this. So right now we have 4 attack. I would personally, actually we have 5 because of the Dragon Fang. So 2, 3, 4, 5 attack. We could do Skilled Strike, which would be 5, 6, 7 attack, and then we can exhaust a weapon. So we would exhaust Dragon Fang to deal 3 more, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage we would do to the villain right there. So even if he had a ton of life left, we don't have to worry about it. We did a massive attack. Wolverine could also come in, knock himself out, deal 3 more damage. I know a lot of people say Wolverine, carries this sometimes, and you can see how effective Wolverine is. This is why I love Wolverine. He's incredibly strong in aggression decks. If you're running an aggression deck, really lean into Wolverine. But even at the end there, we'd be doing 10 damage, and it would not be that hard to do. Unfortunately, we got some of the other mean swings, I think, in the beginning, so that didn't help us much. But anyway, that is Valkyrie against Crossbones. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this type of video, right? Hopefully this type of video was useful to you. Again, it's something a little bit different than what we've done in the past. It is something I would like to do more often because I think breaking this stuff down and explaining it kind of really helps. I might have a couple times gone a little too fast and not showed everything properly. So if that's the case, I apologize. Still trying to figure out the flow because in my head, I want to go because I know what I want to do. So I'm trying to slow everything down. But anyway, that's the power of Valkyrie. Valkyrie can be really strong. Again, if you wanted to play a longer game, you could play in the sense of using more aggression cards that remove threat from the main scheme. You could be playing just as Valkyrie, leadership Valkyrie. There's a ton of different ways. But I think a very aggressive style Valkyrie, once you get Aragorn and Endurance out with life, is really great. It would have been nice to have a resource generator out there. We didn't have one, but that's okay. But Dragon Fang is really the key, to be completely honest. Dragon Fang is such a powerful card to let you swing for 4. When you get the minions out there, it's so easy to just get rid of them with Dragon Fang. There's very few minions out there that have more than 4 life. He had a combat training, so you're dealing 5 damage. There's very few minions that are going to withstand that. Obviously, there's going to be some, especially elite minions, but the vast majority of minions will not be able to withstand those hits. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this playthrough. Hopefully you enjoyed this game. Hopefully you enjoyed this style of video. Let me know down in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what would you like to see. This series isn't fixed. I do want to refine and improve upon this series. I want this to be helpful for not just beginners, but maybe some intermediate players as well. That just want to kind of get some ideas or try something different or see heroes used different, whatever it may be. Any way I can help the community out, that's what I want. So let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. And finally, if you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That stuff really helps out. It really helps the channel. We're continuing to grow. Hit the like button too so that more people see the video. But I appreciate you all being here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed all this. And I will see you whenever the next Sunday is. I can't promise it's going to be every single week, but we will do this again in the future. And I will see you then.